Welcome to the One-on-One Podcast with your host, Juan Ayala.
That's Dragon Ball Z. That's his like Kamehameha or whatever. It's a Japanese slang word that means like a nonsensical word or a magical word. So almost like hocus pocus, nonsense. These are examples: balderdash, gobbledygook, poppycock, abracadabra. It's used to describe indescribable shock, awe, or ridicule of someone speaking foolishly. It also used to activate spells, like you said, alakazam, abracadabra. First of all, apparently that guy, the demon Dabura, is the end of abracadabra, Dabura. Again, Akira Toriyama's obsession with puns. And you see that sigil on his head. Again, we talked about the golem having, that writing on his head. When people have that sigil on their head, they're under the mind control of Babidi. So it's almost like some kind of spell that they're under. But it's interesting. Papa, I guess, is sourced from the German word. Like I said, that means nonsense, poppycock, and rubbish. As far as words or spells, what's the jingle after McDonald's? I'm loving it, right? Ba-ra-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to another episode of the One-on-One Podcast. Your host, as always. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/the One-on-One Podcast. Get access to over 200 episodes only found on there. If you don't like the once a week episodes, and I'm going to try something a little bit different. If you're fake and gay, don't share this episode out. Just don't. Don't leave a 5-star review. Don't thumbs it up. Don't nothing. But if you're real and hetero, I guess, or whatever, then you'll do that. Give a thumbs up. You're going to go follow Joreezy. You're going to do all the stuff. You're going to check out the new Occultist Mondays. We got professionally printed, and I have the 88-page homunculus edition of the Occultist Monday available at tjojp.com. You can also get copies of the other one. So make sure to check that out. We have comic issue 2 also on there, tjojp.com. All that good stuff. Help a brother grift. And every Tuesday, I have been streaming on the One-on-One Media YouTube channel and on Twitch, twitch.tv/One-on-One Podcast. It's fun. It's like a podcast, except I'm playing a game while talking. So you get visuals. And this week, I was playing Dante's Inferno. We're going through the layers of hell. So if you want to go through the layers of hell with me and see Beatrice titties, and sign up, go check out twitch.tv/One-on-One Podcast. We even got titties on there. So make sure to check that out. And what's up, dude? How you been, bro?
Chilling, bro. I just want to say that might work. I have a hypothesis that negative comments, because of the law of polarity, it spews positive engagement, So whether or not it's a negative, I don't think that, it's positive engagement if you're looking for, just objective data. So there might be something to that, bro.
Yeah. You sometimes, the I don't like to abuse the listeners, but they like to get, talk dirty to sometimes, bro. It's not just about the homunculus. They like to get talked down to. So there it is. Go check it out. And dude, for those that don't know you, because this is the first time you've been on the show. I've been on yours, I think, twice now.
3 times.
3 times. Damn. Okay. So 3 times.
Hell yeah.
For those that don't know you, bro, where can people find your podcast, your channels, and all that good stuff before we dive into what we're going to get into today?
All right. So you can find everything on our website, cave.com, K4V3.com. It's a weird way to spell cave, but, CAVE.com was already taken, and that's kind of gay. So we kind of switched it up, K4V3.com. You can listen to our podcasts on all platforms. They're on YouTube too. And I think we're starting to upload them on Rumble. So cave.com, cave everywhere.
Nice. And for those wondering that are watching the video right now, I got to ask you straight up, bro, what's up with the mask? I know I've asked you before, But and you said that I was the first person to ask you about the mask.
Yes, sir.
Why the mask?
Okay, so you know what? There's a lot of reasons I could say, but to boil everything down to common denominators, it's a social experiment, you know? Starting podcasts, it would be ideal if I could just do audio form, but in this new landscape we're in, you know, you kind of have to do video form too. And bro, let's be honest, as men back in like the 90s and it's gay to like have conversations for that long. It's like, bro, let's just hang out and do something. So it's like, if you want to see my face that bad, like you should question yourself a little bit, bro. You know what I mean?
A little
So
sus, right?
yeah, they're a little sus, but it's fun too. You know, I like WWE, I like pro wrestling, so there's that gimmick aspect to it too. You know, and just like you said about the negative comments, there are a lot of haters online. So when they see the clip, they're like, "What the fuck, mask?" You know, so it engages people and it causes a reaction, and it's a social experiment. So all that combined in the mask.
Well, you're conducting a sort of magic then, bro, because you're getting into character, and you are. I'm sure that you'd act differently if your face was exposed, right? So by you putting on that mask, you're getting into that character. You're putting on that persona. That's part of ceremonial magic when they put on all the robes and all this other stuff. And I kind of wish too that I would have not shown my face when I first started, but I mean we're way past that, and it's fine. You know, I'm here, and I'm the same person on air as I am off air, and I own everything I say. And
Mhm.
so, and I'm gonna have to disagree with you, bro. I think that philosophers they were always having podcasts. I mean, that's what literally. I know you told me one time that your podcast is called The Cave because of Plato's Cave.
Right.
Well, my boy was arguing with himself sometimes, like
They
making
were they were
characters
also
up.
doing gay though.
They were also doing gay shit. Yeah, they were a lot of yeah, a lot of gay, a lot of butt stuff
No, but I
probably.
get you, but it was off record, you know what I mean? They would
Yeah,
record it, but only for the initiated, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
agree with you in that aspect.
You're right. Touche,
Mhm.
touche. Not
Only
I
for the
got you.
Patreons, you know?
Only for the Patreon. Yeah. So, dude, I had reached out to you because I seen you posting some stuff. I see you got a hoodie on that's got the Dragon Ball Z
Mhm.
sort of font on it, and this is something that I've been kicking around for a while. I've been watching like Naruto lately. Uh, I've been doing various research because I've been doing a lot of clips and stuff, and that's constantly just like looking for the next snippet of something, taking a concept, being able to break it down in that 90-second mark. And it's opened up a lot of different avenues for me because I'm learning a lot.
Hell yeah.
And there's only so much you can say in 90 minutes. And mind you, I'm taking topics that are super broad and boiling them down. Sometimes you miss a lot of stuff. So I'm able to jump on top of other concepts with with the show because it's a long format.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I've always talked about that probably, so if you think of like Naruto for a second, they literally imprisoned this demon inside a newborn baby, like this whole village.
Yeah.
And this is what this show is about, like this demon thing that's super powerful put into a little baby. I'm like, what? I remember, dude, being so hyped for the first episode of that anime when it first came out. And I don't know,
Mhm.
I want to say it was Adult Swim, maybe. I don't know if it was
Yeah, that
Adult
Adult
Swim or not.
Swim. Yeah, they put a lot of people on because back then you had to fucking, like, get
Toonami, bro.
VHS, you know? Back then you had to get tapes before they put them on. I mean, mainstream-wise, they put them on Toonami, but back then it was, like, Fox and,
Yeah.
like, these morning cartoon channels, you know?
Yeah, yeah. WB, you remember WB 18, I think it was, with the morning
But that's the
cartoon.
thing too, right? Like anime, you have Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, but then right before it, you had like fucking Animaniacs. Like the the fucking demographic and the audience, the targeted audience goes from like 8 years old to like 24 to
Oh.
like 30, you know what I mean? So it's
So
pretty interesting.
well, because that would make sense that they are going with the crowd, with the demographic that's watching them. And I've always told people that we've been exposed to a lot of this stuff that we talk about, that I talk about on my show. I know you talk about like the occult and esoteric stuff on your show, but a lot of the stuff that maybe is triggered for us now, for those that have been able to get it triggered, because some people can just live with it and they're fine, right? They don't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think it started with all these shows that we were watching and playing, cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I never really did see the occult scaffoldings, I guess, or connotations of Dragon Ball Z, which,
But
if you think about it, dude, they're kind of sort of like Nephilim in a sort of way, right? And then you have like the interdimensional entity, the extraterrestrials and interdimensionals as well in that show, because there are some from other realities that bleed into it, no?
yeah, bro, it gets really deep. And you brought up Nephilims. Someone referred to in one of my comments in one of my posts said Trunks was a Nephilim, and I see it just because Vegeta is technically not a human. He's of another blood. He's like an alien race, but bro, just like you, I started gaming and I started my own show called Just Joreezy, and I just kind of freestyle it. So I'm either just hanging out, researching, or playing games, and I'm playing this Dragon Ball Z game, just talking. I'm like, yo, there's a lot of fucking occult history and symbolism tied into Dragon Ball Z. So I started doing research into it, and it's funny, bro. Like a lot of animes get a lot of credit for putting occult stuff and occult symbolism and occult knowledge out, but Dragon Ball Z gets overlooked. I don't know if it's because it's mainstream or people just get lulled into the fight, because the fight scenes are pretty badass, I have to say. That's what got me into it. But yeah, there's a fucking ton. Shout out to Akira Toriyama. And yo, I didn't really like anime, man. Like, I thought anime was fake and gay. Like, I'm like, dude, just watch action movies if you like it so much, like
Yeah.
it's not quite there, but I get it now, because being a fan and being a researcher of these topics, you kind of get to appreciate these things more, and you kind of get to appreciate the creator, and you have to wonder if they dabbled in some of these topics and these researches as well, because there's a ton, bro. There's a ton.
All right. So, I mean, I was today years old when I learned that Trunks was a Vegeta's son. I mean,
He's a
that's
time traveler too, bro, from the future.
so he's a hybrid, the firstborn and only son of Vegeta and Bulma. So obviously Vegeta is the prince of the fallen Saiyan race.
Right.
And so the Saiyan were, again, this almost Nephilimic. Here we go. They're from Universe 7, right? A race of extraterrestrials in the Dragon Ball Z anime and manga and its adaptive sequels. Because here's what lost me, bro. And a lot of these shows lost me because, again, you get older, right? You don't have time to watch them, and they have so many spin-offs of the same show, dude.
Right.
It's like the Marvel movies and DC. Like, I've never been a big fan. I know a lot of people are talking about Wolverine and Deadpool. And if you think of like Deadpool, he's almost, from what my understanding from a stream that I was doing, they told me that Deadpool had the same treatment that Wolverine had, but it failed. And then he's like, he comes back to, but he's all deformed, but he keeps coming back to life every single time he like heals up, like Wolverine.
From my understanding, he's Wolverine without the adamantium claws, so he can heal, he can regenerate, but that he doesn't have the claws or that power.
And he looks like,
yeah, he's a smart ass too. He has a fucking loud mouth, and that's kind of his persona. But
yeah,
that's why they're related, because I think the same experiment they did on Wolverine, they conducted it on Deadpool to recreate it. So I think that's where it comes from.
So this is interesting right here. In the series, the Saiyans from Universe 7 are a naturally aggressive warrior race.
All right, bro. Let's start with this, bro. How much of Dragon Ball Z do you know? Since we're gonna zone in on Dragon Ball Z,
like
because, like I said, I made this occult hoodie because it's anime occult, and there's a ton of anime that have occult knowledge and concepts tied into it. Full Metal Alchemist, I feel like, is one of the top. Berserk is one of the top, I feel, too.
Never seen that one.
Neither have I, but this is it. Berserk was in the 80s, bro. Like, this is old. I think the anime, like the first anime started coming out even before the 1917. So,
bro,
yeah, Berserk is fucking nuts. My friend talks about it a lot. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole, but Full Metal Alchemist is another one too.
I've been watching Gundam. Gundam is occult. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Gundam, you would think that, oh wow, this robots. It's like, no, literally, like they engineer people to be able to, like, they have hybrids and artificially created people to pilot the, and it's like, what'd you say? An artificially created, huh? You know, like what? It's like that whole thing, and how you're saying this has been around for years, and a lot of these anime authors or creators, at least the one for Full Metal, she, if she even is a
Mhm.
she was anonymous for a long time, and she used a pen name. And if you try and look her up right now, you're gonna find maybe one or two pictures, if that's even her. Okay. If that's even her, because we don't know, right? Because she's so secretive about it. So there's something to be said about that,
Mhm.
because when they asked her about like her inspirations, she literally says, "Oh, I read a lot." Well, what are you reading? Because you're taking a lot of these things, and there's something magical and powerful in that. So you're taking these occult concepts and you're putting you're putting it on something, and it's going out there. And that's maybe perhaps why they become so big, right? Because these, we're
Dog.
talking about Dragon Ball Z is huge, bro. Gundam makes it was, I think, 90% of the like action figure market of Japan, bro.
Yo, they had a fucking life-size Gundam in Japan. They
They
took it
do.
down recently,
They
but
took it down?
yeah, look it up, dude. That shit is badass. If they deployed it, I think it's deployable personally, but I mean, why would you make a fucking replica and not make it useful, you know?
Oh, they did close it.
They closed it
Wow.
because it was ready to go, baby.
Well, it makes you think, because oh wow, because I'm doing a presentation on this, bro, and I missed this.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Dude, if you watch a video on it, it actually moves. It lights up and it moves.
Well, so you can essentially go inside it, and they have all these cameras that are connected, and you can control it through virtual reality. That's what they said. But in
Yeah,
December,
like
it's a sad
Pacific Rim.
day. They're those looking for a final or even first trip on the deadline before the site shuts down forever. Why are they closing it?
Yeah, it's kind of odd that they're closing it. That's it at night, lit up.
You think maybe,
Full
dude?
glory.
Listen, if this is pretty sick though. If they're showing this, all right. If they're showing this, I'm sure that the military industrial complex has something
Way better than
way
that.
better.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
already.
saying?
Yeah, probably in like the 5th prototype, you know?
Yeah. So taking these concepts of, again, because this is transhumanism at its best. You know,
Bro,
you're
straight
taking
up.
and fusing, right, the ghost in the shell type of thing, where you're fusing everything together. But dude, this is crazy. I did not know it was shutting down. Interesting.
That shit moves too. It's pretty crazy. But bro, like as far as getting inspiration from anime to make real life inventions, I guess the mobile industry, there was a Dragon Ball chip that Motorola used for their phones, inspired by Dragon Ball. I think it powered like 75% of all handheld devices in the 90s.
What?
And you know, Dragon Ball, if you don't know, Dragon Ball, Bulma is really like the tech savvy character, and her dad's like a scientist. But look up Dragon Ball chip and Motorola. There's a real chip that they made named
Okay,
after
so
Dragon
she
Ball.
is an engineer, second daughter of Capsule Corporation, Dr. Brief, and his wife.
She married Vegeta and had Trunks. So Trunks is like the Saiyan race genius,
Yo,
essentially.
this thing is, bro, they're messing around with my computer's like lagging right now. This is crazy, bro.
Bro,
This
it as far as transhumanism goes, it's crazy how some of them are a stretch, but there are some pretty convincing cases for the theories, but Epstein ties in with some of these Dragon Ball Z symbolisms, bro.
no.
What did Akira Toriyama know? Yeah,
Well, I mean,
check
he
that
was
out.
probably rolling in that click, bro. I mean, that's the only
But
really the only
interesting, bro.
way.
You and I are both fans of comics, and you have comics yourself. But and you're pretty aware of the whole concept of sigils, and you talk about cinemagic. There is also a cinecomic or a cinemanga too,
Oh
right?
well, it's sigils.
Yeah,
It's
it's all sigils, and It's interesting. You could argue what's more effective at communicating a tale or a story, a written tablet or a painting or a depiction of it, right?
A
Which makes
picture.
comics a little more, which gives comics and manga an edge because it has pictures and dialogue.
So, well,
Before there were even moving pictures, but even moving pictures doesn't have the words to read, so it's not engaging technically those consciousness of reading and visually taking in a moving picture. You know what I'm saying?
Paracelsus talked about picture magic, pictorial magic, and he did say that it was a lot more powerful. And the reason it's more powerful is because when you're reading something, you're more prone to remember the pictures versus the letters, right? So you get into letterism, which is the whole idea of injecting the letters, giving the letters meaning, and then giving those, that meaning a magical context or something magical in the background. So yeah, I mean, again, before cinema or anime or any motion picture, comics would have been the way to go. The problem with today's society, bro, is that there is nothing physical anymore. There is no books anymore. It's like either you get a PDF or Kindle or something, which, if you really want to come and look at it, I mean, it could be a part of that transhumanistic agenda in some sort of weird way, because I don't know if you've ever read 1984, but the concept of even purging information and changing books.
Yep.
And it's always been an information, an info war. Right? It's always been about information, bro. Since any story of creation. Look at Prometheus, right? Prometheus, what? Gave man the knowledge of the fire, right? That light. Adam and Eve. Don't eat from
Whatever
the
pro
tree.
there is of storing information digitally, the con that they can alter that information without you knowing, at a snap of a finger, automatically negates every pro that you have on the list, I think.
But
So
what about when they're able to change the books, even the physical ones, bro?
damn, some fucking like living text type shit or what?
Well, that is a concept. The idea that information is living and that the Gnostics were actually in touch with this information, and once the information came into contact with you, it would spread like a virus. And I mean, you have William Burroughs talking about that language is an extraterrestrial virus. We are all hosts for this language. We pass it on, and once we die off, it keeps going. So it used us as a vessel, right? So yeah, that is a concept, bro. But my whole thing is, a lot of people, I don't like the Mandela effect. I think it's fake and gay. I think it's dumb. I think it's like a misremembering collectively. Because you ever seen those posts on Twitter, and I've seen these lately, where it's like, does anyone else feel off about
Oh, I fucking hate that.
the
The shift has happened.
the Schumann resonance? I feel it in my ass. Like, it's like,
Do you feel it?
I feel like you can manipulate somebody. Like, so here, I'm gonna use
I'm
an
glad you
example.
fucking said that, bro.
I'm gonna use an example that happened to me yesterday or the day before. So I went to the store and I picked some stuff up to make dinner, right? And I picked up some fruits. I was in the fruit section. The wife wanted strawberries. I saw cherry plums. Okay. And I was like, oh, first thing I said was, okay, well, cherry plum. What's the first thing that comes to mind? A cross between a cherry and a plum. Right. So I get home, and this is again, the concept of using your mind to influence your reality. I show my wife, you ever tasted these before? Like, this is crazy. A cherry. I've never tasted it. I took a bite of it and I'm like, yeah, it's a mix between a cherry and a plum, and I'm tasting it and I'm like, yeah, it's got an aftertaste of like cherry. And she takes the bite and she goes, I just taste plum. And I was like, she's like, maybe are they cherry because they're small? Like cherry tomatoes. It's not a cross between a cherry and a tomato.
Just that it's small.
But just that it's small.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, did I just convince myself that it tasted like a cherry just because it was in the name? Right? So
yeah,
think about that. Using that concept of taking the words on the bag, cherry plum, It's just a miniaturized plum. Now there are some hybrids, okay, but I don't think the ones that I got are hybrids. There are mixed between two different fruits, but the ones I got taste like a plum. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a plum, but I made myself believe that it tasted like a cherry, and I try to make my wife believe it too. She's like, I'm not tasting it. I was like, the aftertaste? No. She's like, no, it's just a small plum.
You got, bro. You
I
got.
got. I
I guess
got,
that's the same
bro.
thing with organic, you know, all that terminology is
Real
there to
meat.
fucking just all that shit's just to sell it and give you that, impression of like a higher quality or
Yeah.
top of the line. So it
Mhm.
gives you that kind of preconceived notion. Funny enough, even anime, when you read anime, you kind of have that preconceived notion of reality taken away already because you're like, okay, this is fictional. So one would say that you're more susceptible to hypnosis or subtle, messages under that mind state or that frequency or that, you know what I mean? Mind wave pattern or whatever. But interestingly enough, with the language as well, we talked about whether or not images are more effective at communicating than languages are. The languages. Have you heard of Amon Hillman?
Eamon Hill. Yeah, I've heard about his
Amon
work.
Hillman? That guy's crazy as right?
Yeah, he's got some crazy takes. Absolutely.
Speaking of purple's in Dragon Ball too, bro. So we'll talk about that later. But Amon Hillman, he said that language almost limits your concepts too. So if your language doesn't have the terminology to describe certain feelings, then it comes out kind of like autism or retarded because you don't know how to fucking verbalize it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, it sounds like something fucking weird that you can't kind of put into words, right? But with images, it's almost an abstract kind of, I guess, like you could say that even groans can mean a lot of, you could take a lot of you can make a lot of meaning out of a groan or an animal's sound compared to if someone just said a word, then it's kind of limited with what they meant. You know what I mean? So there's
Yeah.
also that, because it's also that conversation of bots. I know we had a conversation about bots and NPCs, whether or not if you have a dialogue in your head, does that make you a bot? So I heard this argument that said that the people that don't have an internal dialogue, they have pictures in their head. So when they're talking, they see images and they just kind of speak what the images are instead of talking and having this English conversation in their head. If we're talking about, conversation, because you're having a dialogue in your head even before you learned English. Now it's kind of limited because the dialogue that you're having in your head is in English. You feel me? That's kind of the weird communication of dreams. Dreams aren't in English, but you have a hard time kind of remembering and recalling them because you're trying to turn them into English to recall them, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So who's the bot? The person speaking English in their head or the person seeing images, abstract images in their head
Well, and that's
that
something
can
that
communicate it and verbalize it in English in a way? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I've talked about that before where you usually can't find the words to describe something, and there are plenty of things that you can't describe a how would you put into words what orange looks like?
Right.
You have an orange hoodie on, like how would you describe that color to somebody who was blind?
Mm-hmm.
Or how would you describe, right, for a person who's deaf, how would you describe, something to them or show them? But I did that reel and the whole NPC stuff, right? The concept that some people don't have an inner so it's all about the inner monologue, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there's different levels of visualization that people are able to achieve. Some people can visualize while others can't. Now, is visualization indicative of consciousness or that you don't have a soul or whatever it is? Like, I don't know. I mean, what is the soul? What is consciousness, right? It's like, is it our, growing up, I always thought that consciousness was our own voice in our heads talking to us. Like, I don't know. I personally, I don't know anybody who doesn't have an inner monologue.
Mm-hmm.
But again, according to these studies, for however much you want to trust them, I think I forgot, it was like what 80% of people don't or something like that. It's like, are those the chosen? Like, was Moses hearing God in his head, or was he hearing it from like an outside? You know what I'm saying? Like, you start to question
Yeah.
a lot of things in history that kind of sort of relate to this. But yeah, no, definitely. And dreams are an interesting one because dreams are. I'm trying to remember if in my dreams I've ever had a conversation. I think I've, now thinking about it, do I hear stuff in my dream? I mean, does anybody hear any, like, for those listening, do you hear stuff in your dream? Like, legitimately, think this is something that you don't think about, but
Right.
are you hearing actual words in your dream? Because
And
now
it's
that you
interesting
mentioned
because
that,
your
I don't know.
recollection of the dream is biased too already. Like every fleeting second tarnishes that accuracy
Yeah.
of that recollection of the dream.
So I've been looking into recently the the art of memory, and I've been bumping heads with the Renaissance, Shakespeare, right? We're speaking about language, about a guy who was very influential towards the English language. He helped. I consider him a sort of mimetic magician because a lot of his stories are embedded within history, like Romeo and Juliet. I mean, everybody knows about
Mm,
that, even if
right.
they haven't read or watched the play or read the play or whatever it is. Everyone knows about it. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
Romeo and Juliet, they have laws named after it, you know, to be or not to be. Anybody can. This guy's deeply ingrained in society. And so I've been reading about the art of memory and how the remembering in some occult circles was the highest level of magical power of attain. And they even stepped it further, where like guys like Giordano Bruno were talking about like receiving enlightenment from within your mind palace. So you create this structure within your mind, and then you walk around it. And I guess they modeled some after the stars and different planets, and then they would invoke angels in their mind palaces and attain the power from those entities inside their mind palaces. Bro,
That's interesting
that's some
because
shit.
if you believe in creation, then it's almost remembering your essence or your connection to the source or to God if it's all about remembering, right?
Yeah, and
In a
it
way.
goes back again to Plato, where Plato says or said, if he was a real person or not, who cares? He says that, we know everything already. We're tapped in.
Dog, you ready
You
to
just
get
got
started?
Let's go.
So, main character is Goku. Goku is a Saiyan, right? And you can do research and pull stuff up while I'm talking about this, but Goku is a Saiyan, and Saiyans are a warrior race. They're almost like Vikings, right? They love fighting. They're almost like what the stereotypical Spartans are, what
Or
they're supposed to
Nephilim,
be,
because they were
or
fighters
Nephilim.
too.
Yeah, they're fighters. But Goku, he got sent to Earth from the planet Vegeta, which is the planet that they're from. Hence Prince Vegeta. He's named after the planet. He got sent to Earth almost like Moses because they were gonna destroy the planet Vegeta. So they sent him to Earth almost as a getaway baby. When he landed on Earth, he hit his head and he forgot that he was of a Saiyan race. So again, going back to the archetype of forgetting what you are,
Oh.
we have Goku. And also, because Saiyans are aggressive people, he has the fighting instinct inside of him, but he doesn't have the aggressive nature because he forgot that part of him. So he's almost kind of stupid because one, he hit his head, two, he doesn't remember who he is. But if you watch Dragon Ball, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he will fuck you up. You know what I mean? And he's passionate about fighting, so it's almost
Yeah.
like this dynamic of he wants to test how strong he can be by fighting the strongest people in a friendly environment. If you're the best and you're not feeling good today, hey dude, take some time off, hit me up when you're good and we'll fight because I want to fight you at your best type. So he's kind of stupid because he does that with like world-ending threats. He'll be like, hey man, take your time, heal up, let's fight when you're better, when this guy threatened to destroy the world. But he's pure of heart And that might be because he forgot his aggressive nature. And the Dragon Balls are tied into chakras. Each star on the Dragon Ball is supposed to symbolize the chakra points. And Goku's linked to the 4-star chakra, or the 4-star Dragon Ball, which is the heart chakra. And it almost is a symbolism of how pure-hearted he is and how he follows his heart and not his ego or his mind.
Wait, so they're tied to Dragon Balls too?
Yeah, so the Dragon Balls are supposed to be a symbolism to chakras, because there are 7 chakras, there are 7 Dragon Balls. And when you align, or when you collect the Dragon Balls, you summon Shenron, which is a dragon, which can be linked to Kundalini energy. And this is all also, it also ties into sex magic, because Master Roshi, who's the person who trained Goku, you'll see that what makes him strong is the fact that he can kind of transmute and control his sexual energy, almost like tantra type, almost like semen retention type. And it's funny because if you know Master Roshi, he's like this old hermit pervert. And I thought he was
He's
the archetype.
buff.
He's hella buff, bro. And there's one scene in Super, which is what happens after Z. I mean, it's supposed to be Dragon Ball GT, but they canceled that out and they made it Super. But if you see in Super, there's this one battle between Master Roshi and this alien fucking, like, she's like, well, this is my secret weapon or a secret attack. And she like turns herself into a hotter version of herself. Like her titties get plumper, her skin gets shinier, and she's pretty much trying to tempt Master Roshi, which is the guy who trained Goku, which I'm talking about. And it looks like Roshi's about to give in. You know, he's like falling for this chick, he's falling for all this, but his students are like, dude, Master Roshi's not going to give in. This fool like has been through all the temptation, and it shows that Master Roshi is able to kind of control the perverted feeling, which is also in Dragon Ball Z. Like ki is a huge component in their powers, and any type of emotion, whether it's anger, you'll see that anger also makes these Saiyans or these beings stronger, or perversion or joy, whatever frequency, emotion, energy, and motion they can kind of wield and alchemize into strength, they'll play with it. You know what I mean? So Master Roshi turns it down. He's like, yeah, I'm like the master of this. And it's funny because Master Roshi stays in an island and he just watches, and he's a fucking pervert, but he
Is
never.
that really what he does?
Dog, look it up.
You
Master
see,
Roshi.
you never that sort of stuff. You're not paying attention as a kid, bro. You look back on all the stuff that we were exposed to,
Bro,
and you go, I don't remember that, because I don't remember that about. You said Roshi, right?
Master Roshi. He's a pervert, dude. Like in Dragon Ball, to get. So Krillin is Goku's his best friend later on, but in the beginning, he starts out as his rival. Master Roshi is a highly acclaimed martial arts master, so people have to do like
The originator of the Kamehameha wave.
We'll get to Kamehameha later because he's actually a king, a Hawaiian king. But Krillin, to become a student under Master Roshi, he goes to Master Roshi's island and gives him a ton of fucking mags. And Master
perverted.
Roshi's
He's literally perverted hermit, a master of what?
bro,
So
it's
he's
crazy.
the god of martial arts.
I didn't know he was a god of martial arts, but he's highly acclaimed in the martial arts scene in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So I got into this. I went down this Dragon Ball research. Well, I went down Dragon Ball Z because I like martial arts, bro. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stop researching these crazy occult topics and just focus on martial arts. And then fucking all this hits me left
Bro,
field. So I'm back in the rabbit hole, man. But
he
this guy is
literally
crazy.
watches wide thigh aerobics or dirty magazines in his spare times.
Bro, I bet you there's a compilation of Master
Look at
Roshi
this.
looking at on
He
YouTube.
even accepts a bribe from Bulma to show him her panties in exchange for a Dragon Ball early in the series.
Yep. But she didn't have panties when she showed it, so she literally showed her. And you see that picture over there where his fucking nose is bleeding? That's kind of like a symbolism of his blood pressure rising because he's so horny that he's bursting blood vessels.
Dude, what in the world, man? Like this is crazy, dude. Like this concept, and if you and the whole thing with I remember Budokai, the games,
Yeah.
and I remember collecting all the fusions, right? Because these guys, and don't lie, bro. When you watched, don't lie for real. Don't lie about this. I'm gonna ask you a question.
All right, bet.
But you as a kid, how many times did you try to turn Super Saiyan in the shower? Don't lie.
So
You
I'll answer this. How many times did I go Super Saiyan when I was a kid? Hey, to be honest with you, bro, legitimately like 100% maximum effort, probably like 3 or 4 times. Like, like straight up, bro, when I was home alone when my parents weren't home.
exactly, bro.
Interestingly enough, how many times have you tried to fire a Kamehameha?
Yeah, a lot, or a spirit bomb. I mean that
What the
dude,
fuck is a spirit bomb, first of all?
well,
You know what I mean?
collecting all the energy. Everyone, like 3 episodes of help me, like just
You're
holding
making a nuclear egregore is what you're doing when you're fucking making a spirit bomb.
all the animals are just like, here, have my semen retention power. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And it's
dude.
interesting, to side tangent real quick. There's one situation in the Buu saga, Majin Buu, we'll get to Majin Buu later, where some people hear Goku asking for their energy and they're like, nah, I'm not going to give him my energy. But they get Hercule, which is Mr. Satan, to talk to the world. And everyone's like, oh, Mr. Satan. And then they give up their energy, which is almost like Satan worship, you know? The fact that when
Really?
they hear Mr. Satan, and Mr. Satan is actually a parody character, because even though Goku is the one that ends all these fucking world-ending threats, they give the credit to Mr. Satan, which is also a symbolism for the deceiver archetype.
So you said Hercule, is that Dragon Ball?
That's Dragon Ball Z. Hercule, Mr. Satan, has a daughter named Videl, backwards is devil, who marries Gohan. See, Akira Toriyama is obsessed with puns, so you'll see all these puns
And he
throughout
died
Dragon
recently
Ball.
too. Now that I recall, he died on March 1st.
With subdural hematoma. I think it was this year. Yeah,
A
March 1st,
subdural
2024.
hematoma?
Yeah, so if you want to talk about chakras, that's the mind chakra.
Oh my
And
god.
manga artists, they are overworked. I think there's this concept called, what's this? Karoshi. It's a Japanese term referring to death resulting from overwork and excessive occupational stress. So since manga and comics are an easier medium to produce, they fucking work these fools. So, they try to pump out these comics and these images and these graphics out of them. And Akira Toriyama, what set him apart from a lot of the animes artists and the manga artists is when he would draw, he would just draw them straight up. There's no like models, lines, or circles or shapes that he makes in order to make the characters. He just draws them straight up from his mind to paper. And he was obsessed with like automobiles, mechanic, models and all that. Kind of reminded me of Leonardo da Vinci, the way he drew a lot of shit in order to
It's
understand how the
literally Mr. Satan.
yeah, bro, Mr. Satan.
Dog.
He's like a Hulk Hogan character, so he gets a lot of credit for being the tough guy, the savior, but he's really fucking weak compared to all the Z fighters.
So, all right, hold on, dude.
It's deep, bro.
This is
It's
crazy.
deep.
All right, so we have this guy, this concept, and it makes me think, bro, because maybe these guys aren't banking like how they're supposed to, right? Because maybe the government is taking a lot of their money or something. Like I don't know how it works in Japan,
Mhm.
but maybe like this guy, what is this? Akira on Twitter, the trending topic, suppress United States Joe Biden. Because a subdural hematoma is a type of bleeding, collection of blood, usually, but not always associated with traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, so it
That's
wasn't
pretty
traumatic
serious.
TBI unless he got beat, but it
That
might have
we
been
know
a
of, right?
brain bleed.
He
Yeah.
was young, bro. He was only freaking 68 years old. I mean, that's pretty young that's
So
not
there
too old.
there was a quote from an interview that said, I guess Akira Toriyama was talking about how the working conditions in Japan were terrible. I guess he was complaining that his hands were fucking going numb from his tendons being so sore. and his editor was like, "Yo, can you write your name?" And Akira Toriyama was like, "Yeah, of course I can write my name. What the kind of question is that?" And the editor's like, "Well, if you could write your name, then you could fucking draw, you know?" So it'd be like
Wow.
that. It'd be like that in Japan.
Really?
Bro, if they
like
have
I
a
said,
term about fucking like we don't have that in America, you know? I mean, the elites probably have a term for that, but as far as again, talking about terms and language, you know, like we don't
yeah.
have a term for that really that I know of.
So, because the guy from Gundam, bro, he's 89, bro. So they must be treating him good.
Holy yo, it's
Yoshiyuki,
because he's a gun. He's part fucking
82.
robot, dog.
He's 82, bro.
Look
He's
at him,
82.
dude. That fool's a
This
fucking
dude's an
android.
android. He's got a homunculus in here and it's just like operating it for him. Probably. And there's not a lot of pictures of these guys. I mean, this is like you see again,
It
it's like the
tells you
same.
though if that's him.
It look like you see this is an old picture of him. And then what else? Are these even real people, bro? Are these even real literal characters? They have an old picture of him. You think one of the most influential. Here, let's look up more pictures of this guy.
So apparently he was a really private guy.
Sure, that's what they say about the Full Metal Alchemist lady, dude. They're super private. What?
Yeah, and the fucking Satoshi fucking crypto guy too, the guy who made crypto or whatever. They're
Mhm.
all private. I mean,
Sure,
I guess
but
I get it.
but you have a character in it that is watching all day, pretty much. Sure, I mean, whatever, T,
Yeah.
T, Joreezy wears a fucking mask. He's a private kind of guy. Like whatever, dude. Whatever. Like it's bizarre, but yeah, that is weird that he did die, and like how you're saying the chakra and all that. I did not know that every Saiyan had his own Dragon Ball. There's 7, right? The
No,
Anunnaki.
so not every Saiyan had a Dragon Ball. So the Dragon Balls were these wish orbs that the Namekians made. The Namekians are these alien beings. They almost look like huge Yodas. If you look at Piccolo, Piccolo, again another pun for a pickle and the actual instrument piccolo, Piccolo. He's in the Namekian. These guys are like dragon humanoids that made these wish orbs, and the wish orbs are the Dragon Balls. So what happens with the Dragon Balls is if you collect them all, they're almost like relics. If you collect them all, then you can summon Shenron, and then the dragon grants your wish. And after you use them, they disperse, and you kind of have to go back out and find them again. So these are the Namekians. They're they're actually pretty important into the lore, but there's not much like information I found about the
Bro,
Namekians, but they look like Yoda, and
they're
Yoda.
green.
I fucking found this. There's also Occult Star Wars. Elphius Levi. I guess he summoned like a demon or something, right?
Mephistopheles. Well, he did the painting of summoning Mephistopheles.
And he kind of looked like Yoda, right? Like a fucking green, like demon or whatever. And Piccolo is known as the Demon King. So there is that tie into demonology.
Talking about this picture right here.
Yeah, that one right there.
This one. Conjuring up the genie Mephistopheles, which is this weird looking demonic thing. You got Baphomet over here. Dude, I'm just like, my mind is blown right now that there's so much there, and I've never noticed. And I know I never really liked Piccolo. I thought he was kind of lame. Like, this thing was super heavy. I remember like he would drop it on the ground and like crush the ground. But dude, I'm wanting to like watch this over again because it's crazy all the stuff that I missed. And he's like a reincarnation, just called Piccolo, known as Ma Junior, is the Namekian, which are a race. They
Yeah,
exist
they're
in
like
both
an alien race.
Universe 6 and 7, originally from another realm altogether. And they are able to make their own set of Dragon Balls.
So that's the other interesting fact. The fact that they're known as an interdimensional being and links back again to the demon that Alpheus Levi conjured because he conjured it from a different dimension as well.
And if you think about that, the concept of using because the dragon that they summon with it grants him a wish, right? It's like using the occult, using the Goetia, using different demons, and different demons grant you different powers, essentially.
Yep.
Is there any blowback of using the Dragon Balls? Like, do you get anything bad?
Interesting. So in GT, the Dragon Balls accumulated a lot of negative energy because of the fact that they were being used too often. Apparently, by design, they weren't meant to be used that often, that frequently. But because Bulma had these things called like a Dragon Ball finder or whatever, I forget what it's called, and they knew of the Dragon Ball, so they knew to fucking. Sometimes, bro, they'd go on these fucking they'd be involved in these battles, and 3 of them would fucking die. And so they'd find the Dragon Balls and wish them back. So they exploited these Dragon Balls, you know what I mean? So in GT, because of being exploited and being used too frequently, the Dragon Balls accumulated too much negative energy that it almost combusted and it personified into different dragon deities.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, and the 1-star Dragon Ball was the most powerful, which also goes back to the chakras. 1-star being the root chakra, being the red power chakra, right?
Yeah, this is too much, bro. I thought this was gonna be like a little bit of like, oh, here's
Nah, dog.
literally Mr. Satan. Like what? Bro, I didn't even know that. It's crazy.
So going back to the Kamehameha before I side tangent and all that, how many times have you done a Kamehameha? I've done it a bunch of times too.
Me too, bro.
It's interesting because I feel like the Saiyans are based on the Hawaiians because obviously Master Roshi was on an island, and that whole imagery of almost like the Hawaii landscape and the Hawaii aesthetic, and King Kamehameha being literally the Kamehameha wave, right? So when you talk about screaming Kamehameha, you're literally invoking that king, which they believed in that type of. The Hawaiians believed in Kapu, which is like this spiritual system, and they really believed in mana, which also ties into ki, which is very, is pretty much the centerpiece of fucking of power, of the power source of Dragon Ball Z. Kapu, let me read my notes real quick. So Kapu was this spiritual practice where the bloodline of the royals were more obviously susceptible to hold in mana, which was the spiritual energy. So the Kapu system was a universal life. It was a system for their lifestyle, their gender roles, and their politics and their religions.
What?
It was a system where commoners lower their head before the chiefs. Women cannot dine with men, and they can't consume pork, bananas, and coconuts. And the punishment for that was death. And when they'd kill them, they would drink their blood or take their bones and make necklaces out of them on some fucking predator. Because in their belief, they're almost wielding their energy, their spiritual power. You know what I mean? And the Hawaiians, they fucking, even in that little island, and even right now, bro, the Hawaiians will tell you they fucking fight over there. And it's not the fact that they're ghetto, it's just how they settle it. Sometimes they'll fight and they'll be like, hey, man, respect. We got to duke it out real quick and kind of get that aside. But even back then, bro, they would kill each other for those islands. So it's almost like the Saiyan race that would go fucking places and just want to fight. You know what I mean? And they believed in ki and all these spiritual.
So does he, because he was from Japan, right? The creator of Dragon Ball Z, does he say what his inspiration was for? Like what was from, I'm sorry, like was it because that's a particular name to use, Kamehameha.
I guess Kame is a turtle, and turtle, and that links into Master Roshi. But Kamehameha, he named that just out of the blue. He was trying to think of a name, and I guess his wife was reading this book about Hawaii, or they're in Hawaii or something. So he was like, "Oh, I'll just name it Kamehameha." So there wasn't a deep tie into that, but I'm just tying in the fact that the Hawaiians might believe in that. But the fact that you say Kamehameha invokes his spirit, I think, in some people's beliefs, you know what I mean? Especially if you're fucking screaming that at the top of your lungs, Kamehameha! You don't even know about the history, but you're invoking it. You know what I mean?
It's in the bathroom.
Crazy, bro. in the
Fucking
bathroom and shit. Yo,
popping a
that's
blood
worse than
vessel,
Bloody
bro.
Mary, dog. You're summoning a fucking warrior god.
Oh, dude, I mean, that's why the fact that they were using their bodies as relics, for power, and then Dragon Ball Z GT is like what another timeline is essentially what it.
GT was supposed to be after Z, but everybody hated on it, so they kind of took it back. But it's pretty interesting. I like GT, and like I said, the storyline where the Dragon Balls almost combusted and became these dragons is in
That's pretty dope.
GT. Yeah, which I think is pretty dope, and I think is very an underrated storyline in Dragon Ball.
All right, another thing you have to admit to. How many times did you look up like Goku Super Saiyan 17 or something, in the early days of the internet, where it's like you're
Super
trying
Saiyan
to,
10,
yeah, Super Saiyan 10.
XXX.
Yeah, bro, you remember those days? Like that was all part of, again, this, maybe I don't know if it's brainwashing, dude. Were we supposed to be watching these shows at the ages that we were watching these shows at?
The answer is no.
Oh,
Okay, so
of course.
I don't know if you grew up Christian just like me. Harry Potter was boycotted by the Christians, right?
Mhm,
Pokemon for a little bit was boycotted
mhm.
from the Christians. Dragon Ball Z was also boycotted by the Christians. First of
Really?
all, Mr. Satan, Hercule is obvious demon, the devil worshiper, demon symbology, but also the fact that, so again, anime was more so of a medium for artists to kind of put in. That's why there's hentai and
Mhm.
these like controversial political cartoons, to kind of parody political figures or religious movements, right?
And get away with it?
But America was like, yo, let's just fucking take that. It's the same thing they did with Power Rangers. They just took the action scenes from Power Rangers and they filmed, Americans off like without the mask to fill in the dialogue when they weren't masked. But all the action scenes of Power Rangers were just stolen from like a Japanese show. So they were kind of trying to do that with anime, not knowing that anime was for the adult audience. You know what I mean? So they would slip this in, like I said, with Animaniacs, Rugrats, and then all of a sudden Dragon Ball Z is here where there's fucking genocide and fucking killing and all these fucking
Oh,
Shrek like sex jokes. You know what I mean?
Power Rangers is Jewish, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I
Some say
heard.
Frieza is Jewish.
I forgot that it's the I called it, what the hell did I call it? I think I called it the Kabbalistic Power Rangers or something or other last time I talked about it. The
The Power Rangers.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, okay, all right. So be serious, bro. Be serious.
So
So
seriously though, that was my theory of what the Saiyans were a symbol of or
okay,
what they were
so
trying to be depicted of. But apparently the inspiration were the Asuras. If you look up the deities Asuras, they're like a warrior deity
from Indian religion?
from Indian religion. There's a lot of Indian mythology and Eastern
So
practices tied into that.
Titan, demigod, okay, which would fall in line with like a Greek like mythology of these half human, half demi. That's what Trunks is. He's half. So that's why they're able to train and have the powers of the Super Saiyan, but they're still human.
And if you look here, all the fucking like flares that come out of when they power up, it's almost like a symbolism of them catching fire from all the fucking rage and strength that they have going
Which
on.
is again Super Saiyan.
Right.
That's literally the part of the transformation. So Super Saiyan is an advanced transformation utilized by members and hybrids of the Saiyan's race that have sufficient amounts of S cells in the Dragon Ball series. Earthlings with Saiyan heritage and Dragon Ball Online can
Again,
also.
I said Frieza might be Jewish. Talking about the Aryan race, blonde, blue eyes.
Is he
Frieza,
real?
Frieza not necessarily owned the Saiyans, but were using the Saiyans to do his dirty work.
Wait, hold on. What?
Frieza
Yeah, I
was
don't know
using
the lore like that, bro. So Frieza Did what
Okay,
with the Saiyans?
so Frieza was some kind of emperor, right?
Uh-huh.
Frieza is a being. They're called frost giants. Again, the wordplay. Frieza. His dad's name is King Cold. He has a brother named Cooler. If you look him up, they're called frost giants, but Frieza is a short frost giant, so he almost has little man syndrome. And
Ah.
because of that, it gives him an edge to train, which makes him the most powerful one. But throughout his depictions, he calls the Saiyans monkeys. He's a very racist being that seems to own everything.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And he was the one that
Responsible for
eradicated planet
genocide.
Vegeta because he was fearful that the Saiyans were going to become too powerful and someday take over. So he wanted to get rid of them. Talking about the Aryan race and you know
Yikes.
the Jews lure again, but hey,
Yikes. Was it
hey, he's also a shapeshifter reptilian, which
I
is
was gonna
interesting.
say yeah, I was gonna say is that the number? Or however number or whatever it is that they're talking about. So, dude, because all right, so the reason I'm asking about the inspiration is because I've been looking into The Tempest, and Shakespeare's plays, they kind of sort of bleed into one another, right? They're kind of continuations here and there of like one another. Is it the same universe or not? I don't know. But one example is the ending of King Lear, ends like with a storm or whatever, and then the beginning of the Tempest is the Tempest, right? They're in the storm.
Mhm.
So it's like a continuation of these stories, and they kind of sort of they're parallel. Those two stories are paralleled with the way that they work out, and so there have been so many different interpretations of the Tempest from the time that it was, from its conception and the first time that they did it. People have been able to pull, colonialism, where it's like, was it the people, conquering the other people? You have certain characters that represent the indigenous people. You have the white, you have the conquerors, like all these different things, and it's like this is kind of reflecting that. And maybe those are archetypes, right? Where it's like the oppressed and the oppressor, like that.
Right.
It's like hot or cold. There's no in between, really. And so that's why I asked about like the Hawaiian king and all that, because that would fall in line with that, where maybe Hawaii was taken. I mean, I don't know the history of Hawaii, but I know that they're not happy that the island is being bought up probably by Oprah
Nope.
Winfrey and The Rock and all these other people, right? I mean, they're not thrilled about that.
Which also, I mean, there's also the parallelism of King Kamehameha was sent to another family to evade assassins because it was prophesied that King Kamehameha was going to be a slayer of chiefs. So the chief at the time was threatened by that. So he wanted to assassinate King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha stands for the lonely one. And it's interesting because Roshi, Master Roshi, he's known as the hermit, which is, a hermit and lonely one. You could make the tie-ins over there too. So there's a lot of compelling cases of the Hawaiians being the inspiration for the Saiyans, instead of a lot of people are saying the Saiyans were black, they were Africans. You know what I
We
mean?
was.
They was the Kangs, but
Yeah.
I think possibly the Namekians could have had some African inspiration, but they're more convincing cases of the Saiyans being Hawaiians, I think.
Wait a minute. So, all right. So you said Frieza is a shapeshifter. Frieza possesses an entire range of transformations, each one being quite different than the others. It is implied by Vegeta, okay, and Frieza himself in the series that Frieza's fourth most powerful form is actually his original form, with the other three being forms that suppress and conserve his enormous power. Frieza later confirms this while fighting the main protagonist, Goku. His form seemed to revolve around both Western and Japanese concepts of demons.
Yeah, the first two forms of Frieza, he has horns, and by the third, fourth, he looks like how he looks like there with the purple, almost like yarmulke. Yo, it's weird. I just made that connection right now. It does kind of look like it. That's a stretch.
And the purple. I mean, you
Kind
got
of a
the
stretch.
purple
Yeah,
here.
we got the purple. Yo, that's
All right.
that's
So,
something.
okay, hold on. There's a lot to take in right now, bro.
Yeah, there's the next symbolism I'm going to talk about are going to be the heavy hitters, bro. So
all
brace yourself.
right, okay, all right. Yeah, let's just move on. I want to talk about Majin Buu. 'Cause I think that so I like the Cell arc, right? I thought Cell was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
He like absorbs people. Did he take their powers too? By the way, when he absorbed them.
Yeah, he did in
Okay,
order
so
to become the perfect Cell. So he was also a shapeshifting, more of an insect humanoid than a reptilian.
I like that. And then my next favorite one was again Majin Buu. You know where the Kid Buu and all these other, like that was like my other favorite.
There's a lot of shit with that, but let's go through the androids before we get to Cell. So we just got through Frieza. Let's go through the androids. So the androids, there's 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 that we're aware of in Z, right? I think in the original Dragon Ball, there's Android 6. And dude, look him up.
So this is from Dragon Ball Z. You want me to
That's
look
from
up
Z, but the original, it's Android 8. He's modeled after Frankenstein. So if you're asking about the right there on the bottom,
this guy?
no, go back. That one right there. Yeah.
This guy?
He's modeled after Frankenstein.
Oh, okay, I got
So
you.
as far as inspirations, like that's an obvious Frankenstein right there.
Aider
His
was
name's
an ally
Aider.
for Kid Goku.
But in Z, there's 16, 17, and 18. So that top picture right there. And I made this joke that the guy that created him, if you look up Dr. Giro, which is that guy right there,
This guy?
I made a joke that he was Jeffrey Epstein. Because Jeffrey Epstein, I didn't know, had this fucking obsession with transhumanism.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to fucking seed the race with his DNA. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I looked up realism because as far as cloning goes, there's Clonaid, which is funded by the Raelians. If you look up Rael, he looks like this guy, bro, but in all white.
So they have a god?
No, they have a prophet, but their god. No, tell me that guy's not Dr. Zoro. Look at that fool's garb, bro.
With the hairdo, my guy. Yo,
You
at
know,
this point, just cut it off.
that's symbolism for the brain of Dr. Zoro.
He's missing this. Yo, he's got a sweet stash though.
But if you look at that guy, he believes in cloning themselves.
yeah,
And
in order to do immortality and I saw this popped up on Netflix. I never watched it.
also eugenics. Also eugenics. You know what I mean? In order to like replace people to become the better version of themselves.
So,
but interestingly enough, that guy is also, has some Jeffrey Epstein like characteristics. I think he married like a 17-year-old, bro.
Oh my god!
And I think he has like 4 or 5 wives. He co-signs, what's his name, Hugh Hefner, because of his sexual freedom, and he also said that Bill Gates is a better person than Mother Teresa. So the common link of Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein tying into realism.
Oh my god!
Is there. But also, bro, I saw this on Twitter just to kind of build more.
Hold on, bro. Because listen, this is crazy. So these two androids are because I remember Krillin marries this one, doesn't he?
Yeah, but interestingly enough, what are their names, bro?
I forgot.
17 and 18. Why are they named that? And they got kidnapped. I looked up how he fucking got those two twins in order to turn him to an android. He fucking kidnapped them.
Resurrected and living peace with his wife. Children as a park ranger. Participated. A cyborg considered a failure. Reigned terror. 18 and cyber. She was considered a failure by Dr. Jiro. Living in peace with Krillin. Okay, so their origin, you're saying that they were kidnapped. So they were real people.
I was wondering, like, how did he even get 17 and 18? Because I know how he got 16. Interestingly enough, going back to realism, why people would want to clone is to bring back dead relatives, right? Or for immortality. 16 was created in order to bring back his late son, what's his name? Jevo, I think. Android 16 is based on Jevo. So Android 16 wasn't meant to be deployed, but since shit was going haywire, he was deployed. So that's why he's 16. He probably died when he was 16 years old, or type shit. But 17 and 18, they were young, bro, and they were kidnapped. They were twins. So it's kind of weird that this guy is kidnapping young people in order to do transhumanism experiments with them, right?
And not only that, dude, but what I'm seeing is, and I'm sure you've seen the meme, where a lot of these women in Hollywood, they all kind of look the same with like the spaced out eyes.
Oh,
and I think my personal opinion, and again, I'm not the prettiest around, okay? I just talk shit, okay? But the concept, it being that they are from some Cetus bloodline, where the Cetus type monster is real ugly, and it falls into like in line with like the Merovingian, that they come from like half sea monster or whatever, blah blah blah, and that's why they're in Hollywood, like in Hollywood, because they all kind of look the same. You know what I'm saying? Like these women with the spaced out eyes, it's like more and more prevalent. And I don't know if that's like what they're putting in the water or what, but I'm just saying, dog.
I have a theory actually that, okay, so Epstein was obviously very obsessed with cloning. I had this theory that, okay, so have you seen the movie The Island? It's about cloning with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. Oh man. So interestingly enough, the reason I found out about Jeffrey Epstein and his obsession with transhumanism is this.
No, never seen this movie.
Okay,
so looks familiar though.
It's directed by Michael Bay.
Oh, yes, I have. I'm sorry, yes, I have. I remember the white suits.
So interestingly enough, so if you have a clone, let's say you make a clone, right, for organ harvesting purposes, and you need a kidney.
If you jerk your own clone off, is that gay?
That's masturbation, right?
Is it?
On a quantum level.
Let us know in the comments.
If you both perceive it together, but if you perceive it separately, it's either gay.
Let us know in the comments if you jerk off your clone. If you jerk off your homunculus, is it gay? I mean, a homunculus maybe because it's not really your clone, but okay, your clone. If you're jerking it off or finger blasting it, whatever, is it gay? Let us know what you think. All right.
How about this? If you make a clone to harvest, an organ, and you harvested an organ already, is it fair to the clone to just be like, all right, man, just do all my work. I'm just going to be chilling. Like, does that clone after that have its own rights? Does it deserve its own rights?
What are rights? What's a soul? What's a consciousness?
Right. And if you think we're created beings, then we kind of have that same argument. You know what I mean? So that argument, that theory that you brought up about all these Hollywood celebrities looking the same, I had this theory that the clones that Jeffrey Epstein was making were, after they served their purpose as far as cloning goes, whether they extracted the organs already, now they get to go to the island and, play with Epstein. Some of them like the benefits of that and become superstars, but some of them can't take it and become the victims that come out and whistleblow. Hypothesis. It's a theory I'm working on right now. Yeah.
The Island Boys, right? Talking about twins and Android 17
and 18. And there's another thing before I close this thing about this pervert transhumanist over here. There's another android named Android 21. She's newer, but she is based on his late wife. I guess his wife died, but everyone is fucking fantasizing about Android 21 because she looks hot. But I guess it's disclosed that she's only 10 years old.
Oh my God.
So there's the tie-in of a perverted transhumanist, Dr. Giro.
Yeah, I've never even seen this android, to be honest with you, bro.
She's newer. I just found her out doing these research deep dives.
So, damn, dude. Dragon Ball Z going all the way down to the balls.
Dragon Balls.
Dragon Ball. Yeah, I always thought that was funny, but nobody, Dragon Balls. Maybe that's another one of these puns or whatever. But have you seen the movie? Oh, shit. I got some stuff falling.
Shenron, bro. You summoned the dragon.
Yo. All right. Okay. So, hold on. What the f- is happening here?
Damn.
All right. The latest movie with speaking of a chick that kind of sort of has her eyes out. What's that movie? The latest movie is it Pretty Things?
Oh, are you talking about the one with Emma Stone?
Emma Stone. Yeah. What's the name of that movie?
Oh, shit,
Pretty.
bro. Pretty
That could-
things. Poor things. Poor things.
Poor Things. Poor
Holy
Things.
fuck. Yeah, exactly. That type of
So I have to be careful with what I pull up. So I started
Yeah,
watching this
crazy.
movie. I started watching this movie, dude, and I was disturbed. Like I was legitimately legit. And I've read a lot of shit, bro. I've read a lot of stuff. I've read a lot of heinous shit, like on the occult and all that stuff. And this movie, I couldn't finish it. Like I
Oh,
didn't finish
shit.
it. Okay, I got,
Damn.
and it makes me wonder why she would accept a role like this and the connotations of the movie. Very homunk-esque. I mean, for those that have seen it, they know what I'm talking about. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. She's
Did you
pretty much
finish
a
it?
vessel, right? She's almost like android-like.
Pretty much, bro. Like some sick on some heinous shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So it's making me think of that when you're talking about these androids and maybe, you know, he was using his creations like the first golem.
Yeah,
The
man.
the these Kabbalists, and dude, when I read something crazy, like when I read something wild, like, oh yeah, they were making golems and they were fucking the golem. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Where's the source for that? And I'll go down this whole rabbit hole and then I find the source. Golems and sex. Okay. And these guys were making golems and having sex with them. But guess what, Joreezy? It was kosher. So it was okay because they created it and not God. So it was all right if they their golems.
I see. I see. Damn.
Always finding a loophole and a cheat for reality. Like as if God isn't some omnipotent interdimensional entity, the center of all reality. But hey, if I stay within these ropes, I'm good.
That I'm fucking that's crazy to me, dog. You're right though, because
If I don't sit in the driver's seat of my lawnmower, I'm not breaking my laws. You know, I'm just gonna sit on this platform in the back and operate it with some levers and stuff. It's like, what are you doing? You think you're smart by trying to trick God?
they're backdooring to backdoor. You feel
Yes.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just reminded me of this, and she's another one of those that kind of looks, you know, interesting.
But hold up, dude, just to make the connection more concrete about fucking the golem. You mentioned Krillin. He literally wished for Android 18 to be human to marry her. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yes, and had a baby with her.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he wished her to be human so that they could have a baby, because I'm sure they could, or it feels different. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But as far as fucking an android, like Krillin literally did that. You know what I mean? He literally wished for his sex doll to be a human. So
What
you could
is
have they
happening,
could start
bro?
a family. And interestingly enough, Krillin has hair after he marries Android 18. And Krillin is a symbolism for Shaolin monk. And the reason he's bald is because he shaves his head because he takes martial arts seriously. When he grows his hair out, he's almost a family man. So he's kind of retired from that martial artist life. If you look up Krillin with hair, he looks hella different.
Yeah, like another form of him right there.
That's him.
She looks like
You
him.
got some now.
I completely forgot that. So he wished her. He got the Dragon Balls and wished her to be human.
Yes, and that's their baby over there. Interestingly enough, I thought that the drawing of him was just like a parody for no one knows, but I guess there's a condition called Arrhynia, Arrhynia. They're people with no noses, bro. Like, I don't know if Akira Toriyama is trying to represent someone that he knew as a character. But look at that. That's Krillin.
What the fuck?
I guess the 6 dots in his head is how he breathes because he learned how to breathe through his skin.
Whoa, bro.
Fuck.
All right, dude. That's enough. That's
You
enough.
ready for fucking Majin Buu, bro? Let's do
right.
Majin Buu.
Let's do this.
So obviously you talked about Gollum. Majin Buu is some sort of primordial evil that existed even before Goku, right? But he was sealed in some kind of egg. Interestingly enough, magic is also respected in Dragon Ball Z. I know we talked about Superman one time we had you on our show, and interestingly enough, Superman is a pretty OP character, but his weaknesses are kryptonite and magic.
I think that's
Bro.
everybody's kryptonite, bro. Unfortunately,
Not Goku though. That's what makes Goku pure of heart. You know what I mean? Goku's just like very curious. If you look at Dragon Ball, he's kind of stupid with he had Bulma, and Bulma was kind of willing to give it up to him, but he's just like, I'm just trying to train,
but
honestly.
listen, dude. Now you're
And
reminding me.
that's also predatory because Bulma was of age and Goku was young.
You're reminded because he would walk around with the tail, the little baby Goku would be around with the tail, and it'd be really sexual, wouldn't it? Like the original stuff.
Well,
I
God,
don't-
sexual. He had a power pole, a pole that extended. You know what I mean? That was that was his fucking.
and I know
magic
there's like
weapon.
him looking up her skirt at sometimes, like some of the episodes and stuff like that. So yeah, dude, absolutely, yeah, that's
Yeah, so it's crazy. So Majin Buu, so as far as magic goes, magic spells and magic techniques, they're independent of your power level. So if Goku was trying to come at me and I knew this magic spell, I could turn him into chocolate, and it doesn't matter how strong he is, he's turning into chocolate. There's this character in Dragon Ball, he's this white rabbit, and if you touch him, you turn into a carrot. Now think about the power dynamics. If you're a Superman, if you're the strongest person, you can't touch this guy. He's a threat, you know what I mean? Because I can't hurt him, and he's just gonna try to touch me. So it's interesting that magic is respected in Dragon Ball. But there's this move called like Mafuba. It's called like the demon sealing technique. And I guess they sealed Majin Buu in an egg, and it's not until Babidi brings him back to life. Interestingly enough, Babidi is originally the son of Bibbidi, but I think they retconned it and made him a doppelganger of Bibbidi. And as far as words or spells, it's Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, based on the Cinderella song.
Bro.
But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is Bobbidi's magic word that he says is papara papa, right? And that's kind of like
It's a little brown guy, right?
So his Kamehameha is papara papa. So it's like Kamehameha. He goes papara papa. And bro, I guess that's an actual like word. I just found this out like a few weeks ago. But before I tell you about the magic word, Bobbidi's design apparently is based on the demon Astaroth from the movie Devil ... a Daughter. It's a 1976 movie starring Christopher Lee. If you look up his character,
what's the name of the movie?
Devil ... a Daughter. 1976 with Christopher Lee. And if you know Christopher Lee, he's a occult connoisseur.
He's dead though now, right?
I don't think so.
I want to
probably sold his soul though.
He was Count Dooku, right? No, he wasn't. Was he Count Dooku?
He was Count Dooku.
Yeah, he was Count Dooku. Okay. Yeah,
and
Count Dooku.
Sauron,
it's interesting because Count Dooku was the guy who was like, listen, everybody, they're in bed with the with the evil ones, and everyone was like, nah, out of here, you're crazy. Turns out fucking the Sith were clones, homunculi being grown underground. They went like full-blown alchemical. All right, so this movie, To the Devil a Daughter.
Yes, type in Astaroth. AST.
Yeah, let's see the cast. Astaroth.
I think it's like a puppet in the movie. AST. Aroth.
Aster.
There you go. Maybe images.
Oh, so it's part of the Goetia.
Yeah, man. So that's not exactly how he looks, but in the movie,
is he?
this is gonna come into play too. These sigils.
That looks like he was doing stuff to this thing.
He looks like he's doggy style.
It looks right, eh? All right.
Here,
So,
can I send you a link?
yeah, you can.
All right, cool.
Do the private chat in here.
Private chat. Here we go.
So the Astaroth was ultimately derived from the second millennial BC Phoenician goddess Astarte, an equivalent of the Babylon Ishtar, and the earliest Sumerian Inanna. She is mentioned in the. Oh, so it's a she. Huh. Did I just assume this demon's gender pronouns? What the? Yeah, I remember this guy.
Yeah,
What the
look,
fuck is that?
that's Astaroth in the movie.
However, given his occult and demonic associations, I argue that Babidi's design is inspired by the demon spawn Astaroth in the seminal occult film "A Devil to the
Look at that
to
shit.
the Devil a Daughter." So Akira never commented. Okay, so "To the Devil a Daughter" is a film about a priest who performs a satanic ritual to impregnate a pure virgin with the avatar of Astaroth, the
Pretty
Duke
much
of
some
Hell.
Babylon working ritual.
100%. 100%. And this is a
Moonchild
dude who
shit.
was like, dude, he did Wicker Man. Christopher Lee did Wicker Man.
That one was a badass version of Wicker Man. I know you love Nicolas Cage. I haven't seen that one yet, but the OG one is kick-ass.
Oh, look at this guy right here. Awesome.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Derek Padula. He is a Dragon Ball scholar. Those motherfuckers exist, bro. Those motherfuckers
Really?
exist.
So he's like going deep into the occult stuff of, because I remember, bro. Look, they're still making new movies on it.
Yeah, so there's actually a show coming out, Daima, which is all the Dragon Ball characters as kids, and it's supposed to be heavily. I mean, Akira Toriyama, the original writer and creator, was heavily involved in the creation of this new show coming out, Daima. So it's making a resurgence, man.
I remember the latest thing I saw was one of the Goku versus Frieza movies. I forgot which one, but that's the like one of the recent ones that I had seen. You know, that was probably like a few years ago, but that's what I last saw. So we have, all right.
So, like I was saying, the spell that he says, "Papar Papa,"
Babidi, that's Dragon Ball Z, right?
That's Dragon Ball Z. That's his like Kamehameha or whatever. It's a Japanese slang word that means like a nonsensical word or a magical word. So almost like hocus pocus.
Really?
Nonsense. These are examples: balderdash, gobbledygook. I've never heard of these terms.
Yeah, like
poppycock,
abracadabra.
Yeah, like abracadabra. It's used to describe indescribable shock, awe, or ridicule of someone speaking foolishly. It also used to activate spells, like you said, Alakazam, abracadabra. First of all, apparently that guy, the demon Dabura, is the end of abracadabra, dabra, Dabura. Again, Akira Toriyama's obsession with puns. And you see that sigil on his head. Again, we talked about the golem having, that writing on his head. When people have that sigil on their head, they're under the mind control of Babidi. So it's almost like some kind of spell that they're under. But it's interesting. Papar Papa, I guess, is sourced from the German word. Like I said, that means nonsense, poppycock, and rubbish. And in other Japanese mediums, Shazam, that genie show, it's Japanese reiteration. They heavily use papar papa. So there's other evidence of that term being used as a magical term. But it's interesting, bro. As far as words or spells, what's the jingle after McDonald's?
What do you mean?
I'm loving it, right?
Yeah.
Ba-ra-ba-ba-ba. Hey, who knows, man? I saw this thing on Twitter earlier about like McDonald's being a sigil, like an old ass sigil.
So Babidi is an evil alien wizard and the clone son of Bibbidi.
Yes.
What the
So
fuck?
Bibbidi was the first one who accessed Majin Buu, and then he was, contained into an egg. And then Babidi, his fucking like life's purpose was to summon him back out, bring him back. But going into the term Majin, Ma has multiple meanings in Japanese. Apparently, it's not just demon; it can also be used as magic. So Majin can be magic man or devil man or demon man. And Majin Buu is obviously like the Jin. I guess Akira Toriyama said that Majin Buu, that whole saga, was heavily inspired by Arabian Nights. So you can talk about
Really?
the Jin, becoming Majin Buu in that Jin terminology. But it's interesting, bro. As far as the sigil goes, I guess someone on Reddit found that there's the Akaru sigil. If you look up Akaru sigil, AKHKHARU,
AKH.
AKHARU, Akaru sigil.
Is
It
this
looks like that sigil, yeah, right there.
Majin Buu? Yeah.
It looks exactly like that Majin symbol, which is like a vampire type
Doesn't
of
even open for me, bro.
spirit.
Yeah, but I see it. I see it here. It's the M right here. Yeah, it
Yeah,
won't
right
open
there.
for me, but yeah, I see the M.
So apparently
Resemblance.
in ancient Sumeria, it's the word used to refer to a vampiric spirit during magical ceremonies. It
Wow.
feeds on human blood to pretty much live. So it's interestingly enough because Majin Buu turns people into food, right? He turns
Yeah,
people into chocolate and he eats them, or he absorbs them. So there's some kind of consuming symbolism behind Majin Buu and the Akaru, and it also looks like the M on everyone's heads.
it looks like the M for Mazda too, and the Ahura Mazda. You have
Oh,
that whole.
or McDonald's, dude. Pa-pa-pa.
Oh,
Hey,
dude,
who knows, dude?
McDonald's.
What does Akira Toriyama know? What does he know, man?
What did he? What did he know? Right? I mean, so yeah, and the one aspect that really interests me is all these different versions of, right. So you have Xeno Majin Buu, an alternate world counterpart from an unknown timeline, then Clone Kid Buu that was created by Android 21.
Yes.
Then there's Huge Buu, the result of Kid Buu absorbing South Supreme Kai. So like depending on who they.
He's like Kirby.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Yeah.
pink too, isn't he? Kirby's pink.
Evil Kirby. So there might be something with like a pink primordial goo that is worth looking into.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Kirby.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, well, yeah, frog. I don't know, but you said evil Kirby, so I looked it up. Look, Devil Kirby, dog.
Because, bro, there's also Ditto from Pokemon.
Which takes the form of everybody else.
And he's a pink blob, too,
Bruh.
Maybe amoeba. I don't fucking know what the symbolism behind a pink blob is, but
Hold
there
on.
is something. Again, like you said, the interesting thing about anime is when there are symbolisms that line up throughout a bunch of other tales, and this pink primordial sludge seems to be something. Also, in the Power Ranger movie, it was a purple sludge monster that looked like that guy.
Like
Bro,
that
look it up.
guy.
Ivan from Power Rangers looked exactly like that dude. Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers.
You know, it's crazy. Oh, yeah, I remember this guy,
what
bro.
the fuck? And he's purple, going back to the purple.
The White Ranger killed himself, bro. That's crazy. Oh, look at the M. Look at the M, bro.
Oh, stop, dude. I didn't even know this until now. Hey. Could you click that? What the that's literally an M.
That's the M. If you look at it, I mean, it's part of his thing, but yeah, the M. Bro, we've been MK Ultra'd our whole fucking childhood, son.
Yo, mind blown.
Get out of here. Mighty Morphin, MM. Master Masons. McDonald's.
Shit.
I'm done.
Yeah, actually, that is actually fucking pretty crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Last two things, bro. Last two things. As far as the purple goes, Amon Hillman, if you don't know him, look him up. And that's the context of the purple I'm talking about. There's this drink that Goku comes across in Dragon Ball. It's a purple drink. And if you drink it, you have to go through whatever side effects the poison brings to you, whether it kills you, tries to kill you, or whether it gives you a psychedelic experience. You can type in if you want to look it up, it's called the ultra pure water, I believe.
So look at this, the shoe. He's known as it says here, known as the purple hood, or dog in a purple hood.
Ultra divine water. Look up ultra divine water. There you go. So it's magic water that will draw out all of the drinker's potential. If they can survive its poisonous and painful effect, then the drinker is ready to have their full potential unlocked. And it's purple. So what the did Akira Toriyama know? Because this purple drug that the ancients were apparently taking to have these visions.
I don't know. It's purple. Is it purple? Like in the cartoon, it's purple.
In the cartoons, it's purple. If you look up a scene on YouTube, I don't know if you can pull it up because of copyright,
yeah.
But it's purple. I just found out about this a few days ago, and I was like, "Yo!" Not only is it purple, but you have to drink it, and it is poisonous, essentially.
I mean, not play this dude's thing on my. Well, he got around it by putting an overlay on top of it, but I see what he did.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
So, let's see. Ultra divine water.
Yeah, it's called ultra divine water. Maybe ultra divine water purple.
Episode 1114 is the episode. So
yeah,
you want to
check that episode. Check that episode out. It's episode 114.
Have you watched the whole, have you watched all of?
So I've seen all of Z. I'm currently going through Dragon Ball, and I'm gonna go through all of them. So, bro, like I said, I thought anime was fake and gay, but the amount of occult information in anime, I have a list to go through now, bro.
Well, the problem is not that. The problem is that so many people, have watched it, grew up with this, me being one of them, where I'm like, I never even noticed any of this.
Last crazy one, bro. Do you know Mr. Popo?
Yeah, the black guy?
Yes, the dark blue guy.
The black guy. Yeah, that one black guy.
And he's got big lips and shit. Watch your mouth, bro. Watch your mouth.
The original blackface, bro. We had a blackface in freaking Dragon Ball Z, and we even know it, dog.
Yeah, a lot of people were offended that he was, depicting black people, and they thought it was racist. So they drew him as a dark blue being. But it's interesting that he's kind of an inspiration for a deity that's in charge of time. He's like a watcher deity. And it's interesting that Mr. Popo is the watcher of the hyperbolic time chamber. So if you look up Mahakala, 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 bro, looks exactly like Mr. Popo.
Oh. And what does this entity do? So they do, Buddha is a fierce manifestation of the Hindu god Shiva and consort of the goddess Mahakali. He most prominently appears in the Kalikula sect of Shaktism. It's a major denomination. Appears as a protector deity in various traditions, even Shingon, which is interesting. And
he's the great black one. He's almost, they call him like the death, but I think he's dark to symbolize like the void. You know what I mean? Almost like a black hole.
Well, think about it. So Mr. Popo is an assistant deity who serves as the attendant to Earth's guardian. He also tends the grounds of the lookout, and he is a gardener and caretaker. And the gardener is interesting. There's gardeners in the video game Destiny.
Oh, okay.
That made Halo, and the idea of the gardeners of the universe, where they're gardening, right? So it's almost like the watchers That
Mm.
whole concept, their watchers are watching the divine alchemist at work, and he's the gardener and caretaker. He can instantaneously travel anywhere in the world when the occasion calls for. And by using a magic carpet, bro. This is so racist, dog.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness, dude.
But yeah, he's based on the time deity, apparently, Mahakala, which is crazy.
And
And
like
he makes
that-
a homunculus, bro. It's crazy. He makes a homunculus. He trains Goku, and you'll find that meditation is a huge practice in Dragon Ball, because no matter how strong you are, if you're not able to hone and meditate, that's kind of what gives you the edge of all the statistics are leveled. But he takes Goku's hair and he makes a clone of Goku so Goku can train against himself in order to level
Really?
up. Yeah, I didn't even know this until looking up Mr. Popo. So they're talking about how low key he's one of the strongest characters in there, because I think one time where he's fighting Goku, Goku throws a Kamehameha at him and he just swallows that shit and absorbs the energy. So this fool's fucking strong.
So the hyperbolic time chamber, check this out, is a mysterious dimension that exists outside of Universe 7, but can be accessed from the universe via different doorways. Each chamber has a time compressed nature, making the flow of time vastly different compared to the flow of time outside the chamber. When using the entryway of the hyperbolic chamber through the lookout on Earth, 1 year inside of the chamber is equivalent to 1 day on the outside. A step over the threshold of the training area brings one immediately into 10 times Earth's gravity, the same as the planet Vegeta, planet Zune, and King Kai's planet. The air thickness is about a quarter of Earth's, and the temperature fluctuates the deeper one goes into the training area. And then this is interesting. Variants of the hyperbolic time chamber exist in other locations and have different conditions. The Galactic Patrol's entry way allows a person to spend 3 days worth inside the chamber over a span of 1 day. Frieza has access to a variant of the chamber that allowed him to spend 10 years worth of training inside. Whis can create a dimensional space within his staff for similar training purposes, and the Demon Realm race can summon a mock hyperbolic time chamber by using enough power to gather and sustain the chamber. So the Demon Realm race.
Yep.
Yeah,
there's a lot of demon symbolism in fucking Dragon Ball Z too. I don't think he was as a devil worshiper, but I think it was more of a knock on like Christianity, because I don't think he was Christian, but Japan was starting to shift into a Christian.
Yeah. Well,
country.
they do. I think it's Shinto is one of their main religions and major religions in Japan. So Shinto and Buddhism, and Shinto is like recognizing that everything has a spirit. So that's why like big fucking robots, they see it as that, like it has a spirit, it has a soul. So it's like it's part of that, and it's really interesting. But they had like a dimension separate from the main mortal universe, located on the opposite side of their dimension. That's like the cliff off, the opposite side of the tree of life, and you're able to go to that other side and interact with the demons. So that's talking about Kabbalistic stuff right there. That dark magic, this demon realm race that have these powers on the opposite side of reality. Get wrecked, bro. Get wrecked.
So the last one I have for you is, it's interesting because there are 12 universes in Dragon Ball, and you don't know that until after Z, right? In Super, they're like, oh man, it's bigger than this. And in Z, and after Z and Super, it's more of a peaceful time. And so it's almost like a show of them kind of just testing their strength out with different strong beings from different universes. So some people were kind of turned off on it because there wasn't the world-ending threat and there wasn't much story, because it's almost like testing their strength. But it did introduce different deities. Interestingly enough, you brought up Beerus. Interestingly enough, they look like they have the Egyptian garbs on too, right? And there's always cat worship in all civilizations. I was going to say Egypt, but I feel like every civilization, low key, even us, we don't worship cats, but we always watch cat videos, and there's people with like ton of cats. You know what I mean? And we talked about was it toxoplasma, oxytoxoplasma,
toxoplasmosis,
toxoplasmosis. Yeah.
T. Gandhi, toxo.
There might be some of that stuff going on. But interestingly enough, the strongest of all the destroyer gods is a clown god. And we talked about Nephilims.
In the Dragon Ball Z universe?
Yes, look up what's the name? Belmod. Belmod. Literally
Whoa.
a Nephilim. Like I don't know if it's a new topic of conversation that Nephilims look like clowns, but I'm sure you've heard about that
Yeah.
whole conversation now. But it's interesting that a clown deity is depicted in Dragon Ball, and it's the strongest of the gods of destruction.
What the hell, bro? This is wild, bro. I tried. I haven't tried watching. I tried watching Yu-Gi-Oh with my son. He kind of sort of liked it, but these kids nowadays, bro, they don't get entertained with this sort of animation style, right? It's got to be different. It's got to be like Coco Melon-esque to like really reel him in. So I've tried showing him some of the stuff I grew up with. I've had success with Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit, Naruto a little bit, but nothing else has really stuck. And I don't think
Everyone loves Pokemon. Your son like Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon.
Yeah.
But dude, this is crazy, bro.
I'll be honest with you, man. Again, the number one knock in Dragon Ball Z is it takes like 20 episodes to start a fight, and the fight like lasts like 5 minutes. So I think the research is more fun and entertaining than actually watching the show, rewatching the show. So I'll say that about that.
Yeah, but it's like one of those sort of things where you just got to get through it, just to be like, all right, well, I already did it.
Yeah.
Because in total, I mean, what I saw Dragon Ball Z was 46 episodes or however many episodes. So I might check it out once I finish. Naruto's like 9 seasons, bro. I never like got past like the second or third season. I read all the manga, when I was a kid, but that's about it. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to add before we get out of here with this whole crazy Dragon Ball Z occult lore breakdown? This was wild, bro.
Man, I'm barely scratching the tip of the iceberg, man. I'm sure there are listeners out there like, oh, he didn't even talk about this. He didn't even talk about that. There are a lot of Dragon Ball Z nerds or just Dragon Ball nerds, period. Again, shout out Derek Padula. They're Dragon Ball scholars, man. So it's just fun. And again, my goal is to shed light on Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and say, hey, man, like, don't overlook this series just because it's mainstream. There's a lot of occult symbolism in this show too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, if we were to focus on all the stuff, we'd go crazy because it's such a today made me realize that it's such a dense universe and it's got so much lore to it. And then when they start injecting like various timelines and various dimensions into it, it's like it gets crazy. So that's why I want to check. That's part of why I want to check it out too. And then you have the movie lore too that can go in there as well. So there's so much just built on top of that, and that in itself is a sort of like a cult technique where it's like a theater in theater. That was a stagecraft thing that they did back then. Shakespeare did a whole bunch of that where they put, essentially what they're doing here is they're putting realities within other realities within other realities. Well, that's a play within a play within a play. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Marvel universe, DC, all these companies are doing the same thing. They're putting, they're merging them together.
And it's also interesting. We talked about images in the beginning of the show. You've heard, David Grush, right? He's like that Air Force intel officer or whatever that is a whistleblower now for UFOs.
Yeah.
He said that if you think about aliens as interdimensional concept and us in this 3D realm to create, you either draw, you 3D print, or you have a baby, right? To create in this 3D world. But if you think or you imagine your dream, you might be creating realities in another dimension, right? Now, from that dimension where you're creating, in order for them to create in this dimension, they either have to possess you with an idea, to use us as a vessel to act or automate us, or to create something in order to usher themselves in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's interestingly enough with Dragon Ball Z, bro, like there's a lot of objective effects of that anime. Like there's a Macy's parade balloon of Goku one. So as far as idolizing something, in 2020, Goku was named an ambassador for the Olympics. What the fuck? An anime
What?
character, dog? And
Seriously?
there's a meme saying that Dragon Ball Super, like the big episodes, there were live like viewing parties in Mexico, and they said during those viewing parties the crime would go down because people would fucking just be like, let's go watch Dragon Ball, dog. So like the fact that even the real world is tuned
Yeah.
into this epic battle, it's almost like art imitating reality. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, absolutely, dude. I'm with you on that, and that's why I think it's important to like shed light. It's like you've been exposed to this. Like I didn't know the hyperbolic time chamber was a different dimension. You know, I thought it was just like a thing where they felt more gravity or something. It's like no, it's like it's a different realm, bro. It's like oh, you know, sensu beans, are they fucking occult? Like you take it and you're automatically healed. It's like the elixir of you know the philosopher's stone. You take and you're healed. Like what's going on? The elixir of life, sort of thing. I don't know, man.
Yo, interestingly enough, they are actually trying to make a sensu bean. Mitsuru Suzumo is trying to create a real life sensu bean called
Really?
Euglena. It's to make food for the children that
Oh
need
my
daily
God, dude.
nutrition. So,
I'm done, bro. I'm done.
crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get back together again and break down another anime, dude, and just go hard in the paint. And there's plenty of them. And yeah, bro, where can people find you, dude? Where can they buy that hoodie?
Yeah, man. This is on our website, cave.com. If you look at the tabs, you hit shop and it should be up there. You can find me on any social media platform, JOREEEZY. On Twitter, it's a 0 instead of an O because I couldn't get that handle. But yeah, hit me up.
Where the hell can
Cave.com,
I buy
baby.
I don't see that hoodie, bro.
Oh, I need to upload. I need to put it up there,
Oh
but
my, yeah, I better have that.
it will be up there after this episode, so I'll be on that. But
Let
follow
me
me
know.
on Twitter. I got the direct link on there. JOREEEEZY. 3 E's.
I'm gonna cop one. Looks dope.
Hell
No.
yeah, man.
Well,
Occult
dude,
anime.
Cult Anime, Joreezy from the Cave Podcast. Check them out. Also, make sure to check out Occultist Monday, Homunculus Edition. It'll make a homunculus. It'll turn you into a Super Saiyan. You can use it for whatever you like. Patreon.com/the one-on-one podcast. TJOJP.com. Remember, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, streaming games, talking, hanging out. Sometimes got Joe Roop in there and different people jump on and just, bro, you and I should do one, bro.
Let's do it, bro.
We gotta do
Tuesdays,
one.
right? Tuesdays.
Yeah. Sometimes, this is why it's important for people to follow the show on all platforms, YouTube, Twitter, wherever, because I've gone live on a Saturday morning, like out of the blue, boom, and just hanging out, chilling for a couple hours, and then I jump off. But yeah, let's plan one, dude. I was playing Dante's Inferno, this last one, and
Hell yeah.
PlayStation 3, very nostalgic. In my feels, you grow up with those type of things. So, and then we're exploring the symbolism and talking. So that's what it's all about. But yeah, we got to plan one. We'll talk about it. And that's pretty much it. You want to plug anything else, Joreezy, before you get out of here?
No, that's about it, man. Let's do it. Plug in that episode we do where we do the gaming episode, man. Whatever we do when we do it.
So remember, if you're faking gay, you're not going to share the show, But if you're not,
I already know you're not. I already know you're not.
Yeah, you're right. They're probably all faking gay. Just a bunch of faking gay fucks listening to this right now. That's all they are. It's fine. Prove me wrong. All right. Share it and catch you guys on the other side of Universe 7. Bye.
Ba-ra-ba-ba-ba.